Hey guys, Pete with CrunchTimeCoaching.com, and I just want to make a video in reaction to Nick Kyrgios beating Novak Djokovic last night in Acapulco. I did not get to see the match live. I woke up, and as a tennis nut like I am, I wanted to see right away who won because I thought it'd be interesting. Hold on. Sorry about that. But it's amazing to me how this Nick Kyrgios, he just becomes more and more interesting to watch to me, more and more puzzling. And I'm wondering if he's finally turning the corner, because after the match, I saw an interview where he says he's trying to fight for every point now. He's taking his game more serious. He doesn't want to play on the satellite tour. He wants to play against the greatest players of all time. And he certainly has all the talent in the world. And if you watch the match, one thing that is amazing about Nick is his ability to hit incredible power shots. But yet, to me, he's got such soft and sweet hands. Not only just the way we think about hitting drop shots, right? But the way that he's able to take balls that are coming at him deep and then absorb the pace and redirect it. You know, lots of shots that most recreational players, when they're watching, don't really notice, as far as how he's taking on a lot of pace, and then he's just smoothly just taking all the pace off the ball. So that's another thing about Nick's game that really, I think, is pretty awesome. The way he can add pace out of nowhere, take pace off out of nowhere. He's got great touch. He also was defending amazing last night, because I watched all the highlights. And lots of times Djokovic had him running side to side to side, and Kyrgios is running down those balls and then ended up winning the point. So all that is really, really, if you like Kyrgios, which a lot of people don't, I know, I overall like him, but he does puzzle me because he gives this quote as, I want to play against the best players of all time, and I want to fight hard for every point. And he certainly, if you beat Novak Djokovic, I mean, just hats off to you. It was 7-6, 7-5. I don't think it was that Djokovic, is disinterested or not, playing good tennis anymore, because I thought it was, from what I could see, they were both playing great. But then still, Nick in points actually looks to hit just shots that you just shouldn't hit. There was a ball coming right here, very off-pace ball. It wasn't a very hard ball. Nick could have moved over 2 steps easy and then crushed an inside-out forehand if he wanted. Instead, he chose to stand still and hit the ball in between his legs. This just gave Novak like a nothing ball in the middle of the court, in between the legs. And I mean, that just does so much. To me, you're not taking advantage. You're certainly not fighting hard for that point. If you say you want to fight hard for every point and then you hit the ball in between your legs for no reason, you're obviously showing up your opponent a little bit, to where it could be taken very personal. If I'm Novak and I'm trying to get back to #1 in the world, and I'm playing this guy who just hits a ball in between the legs for no reason. I know that Roger does that a lot too, but #1, he's earned the right to do that, I think, because of how many majors he's won, and that he seems to do it out of like a desperate act, like he needs to do it. Nick does it, he's actually looking to do it. There's no reason to do it, and he hits the ball in between his legs. Then he was at the net last night. Now that one was a little more, I'm like, okay, maybe it was just a reaction, and he kind of had to do it where the ball was volleyed very solid at him, and then he went between his legs and put it back in play. I don't know. Maybe he could have not had to do that, but he definitely. Then there were some other shots I was watching on the replay where I'm like, it just makes no sense what he's doing. So I just don't know what to think about Kyrgios. I want to know what you guys think about this, because I think that when you watch those highlights, and one thing that he's proven now, I think it's another thing that makes him an enigma, that makes him confusing, because I think out of so many of the young players that are under 25 years old, if you just had one match, and especially if it was a 2 out of 3 set, not a 5-set match, if you had one match to put up against any of the top 5 players, and you have these players under 20 now coming up, who would you pick as your guy to have to go play a top 5 player if you had to put some money on it? And it's hard to argue that Nick would be the guy, because Nick has now beaten so many top 10 players, and he beat Nadal at Wimbledon. He's beaten, I want to say, I could be wrong, but I think he's beaten a top 10 player now 10 times. And I think he's beaten Federer too. I mean, so he is a guy who obviously does not fear the big moment, doesn't fear the big stage, which would bode well for him at a major. But yet then every time he gets to a major, it becomes apparent that he doesn't have the maturity yet to win a major, doesn't have the stamina yet to win a major. Little things can throw him off. The last time I saw him play, I think I watched a full match, I think was at, no, I did watch him at the Australian Open. He fought really hard at the Australian Open. It was 5 sets. But the U.S. Open, it was really weird. Like, the guy that he was playing just got under his skin a little bit, and then Nick basically gave up. So he hasn't really shown the maturity yet that he can go through and win a major and win 3 out of 5 set matches. But he is showing more and more that he can win tournaments, that he can beat top 10 players. And now he is talking a different tune, to where he's saying, I want to be here. Where a year or so ago, he was basically saying, I was forced into tennis. I don't really want to do this. I'm having a hard time with tennis, and I would have rather played basketball as a career, but I was kind of forced into this. So, but now he's saying, hey, I don't want to be playing satellite tennis. I want to be playing against the greatest players of all time, and I'm really working on being in better shape and playing every point to the best of my ability. Now, if he can really back that statement up, I think, now this is a big if he can really back that statement up to where he's obviously maturing now, if he can stop hitting these brain dead shots or I don't care shots just here and there, and really start to truly compete for every point, and this is can he do it or not, he can, should, and will win a Grand Slam. I mean, he's just got so many tools. His serve is ridiculous. I actually got to see it on a practice court. I was watching him. I was right there. That thing is a cannon. It on a regular fence, it bounces more than halfway up the fence every time. So it's huge. The serve is huge. When he wants to unload, he can hit it so big, and then he can change pace so well. He can defend well. He's not afraid to play big players. He likes the big stage. So he's got all the ingredients to win a major, except he's nuts sometimes. Like, he just does things where he's like, what are you doing? But I don't know. What do you guys think? Is he somebody who's just talking and not going to walk the walk? Or is he's a young guy, right? I mean, Agassi, and I think Agassi even said that Nick reminds him of himself. He's obviously got demons, skeletons in the closet, whatever you want to say. Like, Agassi resented tennis for the longest time. He felt like he was forced into it by his dad. He was shipped off to Nick Bollettieri. So he was playing kind of against his will in his mind. He was rebelling almost against his own talent, if you will, for a while. And then he finally matured, and he actually took him really, now he won majors in his early and mid 20s, but he kind of matured as a player in his late 20s. I would say 27, 28. That's when Agassi played his best. So, I mean, it took him a long time to really live up to his potential. Nick is still very young, and he is starting to talk a little differently now. He's starting to say, I want to play the best players ever. I want to get in better shape. I want to fight for every point. And the thing that is still puzzling to me, though, is even in a big victory, he's still showing that, do you really want to fight for every point when you have a ball you could run around and hit an inside-out forehand winner, and you choose to stand there and hit an in-between the leg shot that just does nothing and stands in the middle of the court? So it's just I don't know. I don't know what to think. I think he's, no matter if you love or hate Nick, I think he's great for tennis, because he's one of those guys to where you're going to have an opinion. You're either going to like defend him and say, yeah, but look, he's young and he's got great talent and he's trying and no one's perfect. You have that side. And then you kind of have the unforgiving crowd that's like, he's bad for tennis. He doesn't try. He says he's rude. He's privileged to where he doesn't appreciate what he has, and I hate him. So there's no like gray area with Nick. You either love him or you hate him. I certainly don't hate him. He frustrates me at times, and ultimately I'm rooting for him, and I'm rooting for tennis, and I think he's good for tennis. And I think that if he can ever truly put his talent to his maximum potential, certainly the talent is there to win a major. A lot of great players like Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic have said that. I think Novak Djokovic even said that he's one of the players that he enjoys to watch. He would. I think he says he paid money to watch Monfils, and he kind of put Kyrgios in that same result. So let me know what you guys think. Will Nick turn this around? Or is he just going to show up? That's another thing. I think he could be one of those guys too that could start doing really well in these 500 events, to where they're 2 out of 3 set matches and can rack up a lot of wins. But over 2 weeks, to where you really got to be at the top of your game, you've got to grind out some wins. You're not going to go through 2 weeks and just blow through the field. You're going to have to grind out some wins. You're going to have to face adversity. You're going to have to play tired. You're going to have to play long matches back to back. Will Nick be able to bring his game to that level in a major? That's a big difference. I mean, I want to give him full credit for beating Novak Djokovic, and if he wins this tournament, I want to give him full credit. But there's a big difference between winning a tournament like this and winning a tournament like a U.S. Open or Wimbledon or French Open or Australian Open, where it's so darn hot. Big difference there, and so he's going to have to grow a lot to do that. The talent is there. Can he get over the mental demons that get to him and that keep him back? Because that's really all I see keeping him back. He's got incredible power. He's got beautiful hands. He can really field the ball, and he can defend. So why can't he win a major? It's just here. So let me know. What's your prediction? Will Nick Kyrgios someday win a major? Will he do it before he turns 25? That's a good one. We can maybe monitor that one, right? Will he win a major before he turns 25 years old? What is your guess? That's it. Hopefully you like this video. Guys, if you don't know who I am, my name's Pete from crunchtimecoaching.com. I'm an online instructor, and I love making videos about tennis. So if you like videos about tennis, subscribe to my channel and comment below and like this video. And that's it. And there'll be another video playing right after this video that you can watch. And there's a good chance it'll be an instructional video, maybe on your serve. You can improve your serve, your backhand, your forehand, your volley. Anything you're looking to improve, you can find it right here on this channel. And I appreciate your time and attention today. Now go out there and play some good tennis.